So you have your brief in the middle, and very often brainstorms will start off something like this. It will be somebody at the front of a room with a flip chart going, okay, kids, we need ideas for ice cream for cats. Sure, that's one way to do it, but let me give you a different idea. So before you even do this, and you can do this individually in pairs, small groups, the goal of this activity is to come up with inspiration around that brief that later on you can tap into as a pool of like a bit of fuel for creativity. Hello there, you gorgeous people. My name is Yuri. I'm in Singapore. This is the Magic Sauce, where we talk about facilitation for innovation, for people working on the front lines of innovation, people doing the work. So here's a bit of context. The other day, one of my friends sends me a message saying that she's working with a client to design a solution. And the client is working on ice cream for cats. So she wanted creative ideas for ice cream for cats. I know this sounds a bit outlandish, but bear with me because you're going to see that this tool works exactly the same, whether you're working on a blockchain solution for trade finance or you need to come up with a new service model for your customers in Southeast Asia. The principles are the same. So we're going to work on ice cream for cats. And as you all know, I love cats. Here is Barry. Barry loves ice cream as well. Don't you love ice cream, Barry? Barry. Okay, we are going to be working on ice cream for cats. So what we're going to do is take a marker, big piece of paper. You can do this on a screen. It doesn't really matter. Right? Basically, in the middle of a piece of paper, we're going to write down the brief. So you have your brief in the middle, and very often brainstorms will start off something like this. It will be somebody at the front of a room with a flip chart going, okay, kids, we need ideas for ice cream for cats. Sure, that's one way to do it, but let me give you a different idea. So before you even do this, and you can do this individually in pairs, small groups, but this is roughly how it works. The goal of this activity is to come up with inspiration around that brief that later on you can tap into as a pool of like a bit of fuel for creativity. So for instance, ice cream for cats, right? You could write down things, all the things we know about ice cream. For instance, maybe there's some new flavors you've seen. Maybe there's a cool little packaging. Maybe your favorite ice cream shop in the neighborhood did like a cool activity. It could be communication, it could be packaging, but all kinds of ideas around ice cream you could put there. We're not even talking about cats, we're just talking about ice cream. You can do other things. So what do we know about cats, right? So maybe you watch a lot of cats videos. So I'm gonna call it cats trends, whatever that is. Maybe I'll give you an example. I saw wine for cats the other day. What cats love? My cats love catnip. They like certain types of food. They like to play. What else could we put around here? Well, we could think about some cool and cheeky campaigns. Clearly, ice cream for cats could be a fun product, right? It could be like a fun business. It shouldn't have to be super serious. So think about maybe some other companies that have done like a tongue-in-cheek product out there. They used to have a chocolate bar called Yorkie Bar, and if you don't know what Yorkie Bar is, you can look that up on YouTube. They used to have really funny ads, and the tagline was always Yorkie Bar.
It's not for girls.
I don't think it's going to go down very well nowadays, but check out Yorkie Bar over there. Another way could be Instagram channels. There's a whole bunch of Instagram channels around cats, and if you don't believe me, you can go to #cats of Instagram, and you'll have millions and millions of cat videos. So you write down your top cat accounts that you have over here, maybe something that you can partner up with later on. Maybe they have some cool ideas there. Maybe you see some interesting ideas on there. Speaking of ideas, maybe you can have some cool collabs coming out of this. There must be some great collaborations out there, maybe with pet fashion. Maybe there's activities out there. Maybe there's whatever, like accessories for cats. Maybe somebody you want to partner up with. So you can already start thinking about maybe some collaborations, what social media is doing. So you can write down all your ideas, just one per piece of paper, or you just, you around here, you just put a couple of things, put a couple of ideas, different flavors you've seen, different packaging. Maybe there's a cool name for it. When my friend talked about this, one of the first names I came up with is, why don't you call it Cool Cat? What I'm trying to tell you with this one is this is a quick activity. This is like a 21-minute pack of Post-its or a sheet of paper or a whiteboard, where basically all you're doing is you're creating this spider map, this mind map of different bits of stimulus around packaging, naming, channels, maybe collaboration, maybe competitors, right? Competitors are always a good one to consider. Who is your competition? Who are the other people looking at selling you things for your cats, right? All these things you map out here. This is a super quick activity. Again, you can do this individually. Maybe you do this with a team of people, but the goal is to get inspiration. So then when later on, once you have a couple of ideas, you can pick a couple of these things. Maybe you need to do a bit of research, maybe collaborations. A kind of a task that comes out of this is we're going to spend an hour just doing some desktop research about, is anybody else selling ice cream for cats? What are they selling food for cats? What does that look like? And the goal is to fill your brain with stimulus and with inspiration, which will help you have better and more structured ideas. And this is a way to structure rather than going any ideas in. You start with this early on in the project. You can do this before you even get started. So somebody says the brief is ice cream for cats. Start with something like this. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, hang on, I'm a serious person. I work with serious business. What is this ice cream for cats? So how does this apply to me? But the same goes for when you're working on maybe what you like to call a serious brief. So let's say we're not working on ice cream for cats, but you're in a serious business and you're working on life insurance for young families, people just starting off a family. The same thing here. So let's get rid of these post-its over here. It is exactly the same activity here, but then for insurance. So we can do the same thing. What do we know about insurances? Like what is going on in the insurance world? What are some of the trends that are going on? Maybe there's some new technologies, maybe there's some new business models over there. What do we know about insurance? What do we know about first families? People with their first kids, young families. What do we know about them? What are they doing? What do we know about people buying products? So what does that look like now? Other people buying similar products, let's say financial products, right? So we could look at an adjacent world like financial products. What's going on there? What are people buying? What are they doing? You can look geographically. So let's say we're doing this. I'm in Singapore. Let's say we're doing this in Singapore. What else is going on in Singapore that we need to know about? Maybe there's something else going on over there. Maybe there's something around pricing structures. That might be something to look into. How are other companies pricing themselves? Do you want to look at Airbnb? You want to look at some of the digital products that are out there. Again, we're doing exactly the same thing as ice cream for cats, but now we're doing this in the field of insurance. It works the same. The whole goal is before you get into any kind of brief is to do a quick download of kind of different angles to your brief. They're not the final ideas. These are not the solutions yet. And there might be something in there, but your goal is just to quickly map out some of the things that you need to learn about, you need to read about, you need to look at, and maybe some creative inspiration for. And later on, when you're working on solutions, or once you have a solution, how do we get this out there into the market? There might be some ideas in here that will help you do just that. So give that a go for your next creative project, whatever brief you get. Make this a habit. 21 minutes, just a quick download. Again, you could do this individually if that works better. You can do this with other people. Play with it, find something that works for you. But I'll bet you it will help you structure your thinking along the way, and it will give you enough inspiration to come up with better ideas, more structured ideas. So give this a go, and remember, leave me a comment below. What should we call this? Let's make it official. Let's give it a, it's a tool that, we created together. So give me a name in the comments below. Love you long time. I'll catch you here next time for another video about something else. Goodbye.